Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with a new video. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. It was very quiet, except for yesterday. Had a chance to watch the Royal Rumble. It was a good pay-per-view, except for the Royal Rumble itself. It was okay. I know y'all keep saying, "Oh, you need to do a wrestling video." I'll just say that the Royal Rumble match itself, it was okay. Just a bunch of dumb scenarios that happened, like you had Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Goldberg, and all these big time wrestlers, and you only got to see them for a glimpse. They wasn't in the matches long. They came in at the end instead of like sparing them out. So it wasn't a good Royal Rumble match, and I was surprised that Randy Orton won because he was on nobody's radar, and that was the surprise. But how many times can we see Randy Orton versus John Cena? That's going to get boring. So let's move on. Thank y'all for watching today's new video. If you're a first time watcher, please click the subscribe button. Also, make sure that you share this video. If you want to receive notifications to your phone when we upload a video, there's a bell right next to the subscribe button. Make sure you click it so you can receive notifications on your phone. This has been, this is the second weekend of the Donald Trump administration, and on Friday he signed an executive order banning people from, where's those countries I wrote down? I know Yemen, Iraq, Iran, Sudan, Libya, Syria, and Somalia. He banned people from those countries coming into the United States of America for the next 90 days because his administration wants to, I guess they want to work on those bans and, you know, work on why the Barack Obama's administration was saying that these countries have heavy influence when it comes to violence. Now, those countries in particular, none of those countries have ever done an attack on American soil. But those countries were banned from people from those countries if you are of the Muslim faith. And let's keep in mind, again, of the Muslim faith, you are banned from coming into this country. Now, they're saying that it's not a Muslim ban. It is a Muslim ban because if you are a Christian or any other religion, you can come into the country. And they're also doing religious tests. I don't know how they're doing it. I didn't read up on that or hear about how they're doing it, but they're also doing religious tests for those people that's coming into the country. So the ban started Saturday morning. We found out there were some people detained in different cities. Some people, when they arrived here, they were immediately sent back. And I know in particular a family here in Pennsylvania, someone came to the Philadelphia airport and the family called the family and told them do not come to the airport because they had been sent back. And the people that were sent back, they weren't allowed to make any phone calls at all to say I'm here or anything like that. They were just immediately sent back. And then in New York, there were several people detained. And once people got a wind of, oh, this has actually happened now, a lot of people went to airports and started to protest. And they were really protesting in New York City. They had shut down one of the air train lines that takes you to JFK Airport. Then we see people in Boston, people in Texas, people in Los Angeles. People were just protesting everywhere. And to me, I think it was just a beautiful thing to see so many people banding together saying that we are not going to, you know, we're not going to allow Donald Trump to do things like this. And we've seen signs of saying we are all Muslim. We're all about love, no hate, let people come into the country. People were going off, and it was a great sight to see. But I was upset that CNN didn't show a lot of it on Saturday night, and MSNBC did. So I was able to see, you know, exactly what was going on. And everybody was peaceful. Nobody was arrested. No fights broke out. It was just people protesting. And the two people that were being detained in New York City, they were eventually let go. And then we found out that the ACLU had went to court, and the judge had said that for people that's already here, there's no need to detain them, let them free. But it's not, it's still not, people still cannot fly in from those countries that are named the 7 countries. And what I think it's going to do is just make those countries and people that hate us even more, and want to do more attacks on us. We do need to have some kind of, now they say that it's an extreme vetting process, but these people have already been extremely vetted before they even got to this country. It taken 2 to 3 years to even let them get here. So you already got your travel plans in place to come to America because you're trying to get away from what's going on in your country, only to be sent back. What do we say to those families that we said can come and then we sent them back and they are killed? What do we say to them? That's just, I'm just getting upset by the moment just thinking about Trump and these things that he's doing. I think he want to do everything. I think he wants to put out everything that he promised during the campaign trail. I think he's doing it now just to say that he did it. He is fulfilling all of the promises on his campaign.
He's trying to please his base because he needs that support. Because Trump's approval ratings are still low. And so he needs that support from his base. He needs for his base to know, listen, what I said during the campaign, I meant it, and I'm going to go through with it no matter what kind of support I get from Congress or, from the people who oppose me. I'm just going to go forth and do it. The sad thing about this ban is I was watching CNN last night, and I was able to see this mother who had been waiting at the airport for her 5-year-old son to come. I can't remember where he was coming from, but she was waiting for him to come, and he was detained for several hours before he could even be reunited with his mother. And mind you, you would have thought that they would have allowed her to go back there with him. No, she had to stay out, and he was where he was in the airport until they said, okay, we're gonna let you. But it's like, what is going on? Like, and this and because of the backlash that is happening, now the Trump administration wants to come out and say, oh no, but this isn't a Muslim ban. But they forget what Donald Trump said all last year and all throughout 2015 when he was running, that he's going to make sure there is a stop of Muslims coming into this country until he, quote unquote, figures out what the hell is going on. Now listen, I don't know why there are individuals that are Muslim faith that do these attacks. I don't know why, but every time it happens, I never ever not once say, oh my God, these Muslims are out of control. I never not once say that, because I know that is not, that those individuals that commit these mass murders and these crimes do not define the religion itself. Just like Timothy McVeigh didn't define the Christian religion, or all these other attackers out there that just happen to be Christian, they don't define the Christian religion. So therefore, I don't define these attackers as just being this whole blaming the Muslim religion as a whole. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have Muslim family members. I have Muslim close friends, and I would never ever speak down upon a Muslim just because of what these small groups of individuals at that. It's not a large group, it's a small group of individuals, what they are doing. And if you ask some Muslims, they will tell you, we don't even consider those folks over there that are, well, not over there, but those folks who are doing what they're doing, we don't even consider them a part of the Muslim faith, because they are making us look extremely bad. And for Donald Trump and his administration to then come out and say, oh, well, this is not a Muslim ban, is just dead wrong. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say this again. I have a feeling that this administration will have protests throughout its entire 4 years, and I hope it does. I hope every time he signs something, every time he does something that is just totally against the American fabric, I hope people go out there and protest. This country was made up of immigrants many years ago, including all the way up into 2017. There are people from all over the world that come to this country to start a new life. And to say that we are going to stop certain religions from coming over here simply because we need to find out what's going on over there with terrorism is dead wrong. It is so wrong. He's worrying about these refugees. He needs to be worrying about these mass. Why are these police officers in this country, why do they feel like they can be trigger happy with African American men, young African American, unarmed young African American men, and now unarmed African American women? That's what well, we know he's not going to focus on that, because that's not, he doesn't care about that. But then he has his puppet master, Omarosa, going on The View on Friday and just talking so ignorant and so rude to the co-host. I wish Whoopi Goldberg was there, but she wasn't. I need for Donald Trump to go away, and I need for him to go away fast.
Yeah, but he ain't going nowhere no time soon.
Because I'm tired of seeing him. I'm tired of
He's
hearing
going to
him.
be in the news every day. And especially if this is the first 100 days. Everything that he set out, he wants to be better than Barack Obama. He wants to just outdo everything. He wants to really put forth his campaign promises and make them happen.
Let's go downstairs real quick, okay? Excuse me. This is important, or else I would have did it. This is yours. It's just getting me a headache. Alright, go ahead.
Ready? Alright. So what's after that? Yeah, I just really think that he wants to when his first 100 days is up, most of his campaign promises, he wants them all to be fulfilled.
And then after that, then what?
I have no idea.
No idea. None of us do.
But speaking of Donald Trump, Tina Campbell, Mary, she went to her Facebook page and she put a post up in support of Donald Trump, saying that she will stand with Trump, with him being our leader. And she, went on to quote a few Bible scriptures and things like that on why she will stand with Donald Trump and support him. Now, she's not going to agree with everything that he does, but she was, she said what she had to say. Not that her comment mattered, but I mean, she put it out there and some people were taking it the wrong way. Some people were in support of her.
Read exactly what it is that she said. If I can pull it up.
They ain't got, I don't know, we might have to go to her Facebook page for the full statement.
Wait, no. She agreed to tell why she would forgive. Okay. She said, I don't want to read this, I just want to read. She said, I believe that understanding and compassion are absolutely necessary for the progress of all people, she wrote. So although I don't always understand or agree with Mr. Trump's politics perspective and approach, I believe that the same God that created all of us has deposited greatness inside of him that goes far beyond what many of us have seen and what many of us could imagine. She continued that instead of complaining about him taking office, people should pray more for him and those who lead the country. She added that though she does not agree with all of his policies, she stands firm on biblical standards that lead her to forgive and support by him. I chose to stand with him and pray for him because as a follower of Jesus Christ and a firm believer in the Holy Bible, according to 1 Timothy, the 2nd chapter, 1 through 3, I have been commanded to. The first thing I want you to do is pray every way you know how, especially for rulers and their governments, to rule well. This is the way our Savior God wants us to live, she wrote. She also asked that others join her in praying for President Trump. Take a look at the full letter below. Okay. Are you finished saying what you have to say about her?
Well, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead and say your
listen,
opinion.
this is my first time reading this because I know people were hitting me up about it. This is my first time reading. I will say this: I have no problem with anybody saying that they want to pray for Donald Trump. No problem at all, because basically what I got from her open letter is that we should pray for him and those around him in government. And I wholeheartedly agree with her because prayer is a powerful thing. It really is. And it's no harm in praying for some. You pray for people who don't like you, you pray for people who like you. It's no harm in that because you never know. The prayer that you put out there, if it's a genuine prayer, it may reach some angel or the Holy Spirit may come down and touch Donald Trump and he may get some type of renewal or whatever. You just never know. So I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. She's not saying that she's going to support his policies or anything. She's saying, I'm going to pray for him. And basically what I'm getting from it, pray for him and hopefully he does right by the American people, because at the end of the day, he's one of us and he's a child of God like all of us. That's what I get from that. I don't see anything wrong with her saying that she's going to pray for him, because actually at my church, when he first became president, my pastor said, we need to pray for him, we need to pray for this country, we need to pray for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. If you find something wrong in praying for Donald Trump, well then, here's a solution. Don't pray for him. It's as simple as that. Just like if you don't agree with gay marriage, don't marry a gay person. It's as simple as that. It's nothing wrong with praying for somebody to hopefully that hopefully they will see the error of their ways, and they will come to the divine light and say, listen, I've been doing this wrong. Because at some point in time, we all were walking down that wrong path in life, and we all were doing things that we shouldn't have been doing, saying things we shouldn't have been saying, going places we shouldn't have been going. Hopefully, if enough people get out there and pray for him genuinely and accordingly, then hopefully he will get this and turn the other way.
I think he needs more than prayer. He needs, we need to keep taking action, and people that are in government, they need to be knocking on his door. Stop saying.
Well, when I say prayer, I don't mean just pray for him and that's it. You can pray for somebody and still take action. You just pray for them the wrong way. So when you say, oh, I think he needs more than prayer, that's...
Because I don't think that Donald Trump actually has a faith, like, or a religion.
Donald Trump not having a faith ain't got nothing to do with you praying for him.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with prayer, but I'm saying he needs more.
Yeah, but see,
than just
I'm not
prayer.
asking Donald Trump to pray for him. What she's saying is for people to pray.
Stop talking about him and pray for him.
Those who believe to pray for Donald Trump. She's not saying, so whether Donald Trump has a faith or religion or not, that does not matter to me, because I could care less. I know who I believe in and I know who I serve, and so therefore I'm going to pray for you. Just like if you're a Muslim, if you're a non-believer, whatever, that just because you're Muslim don't mean I can't pray for you.
Yeah,
right.
I know that.
So whether or not Donald Trump has a religion or not, that doesn't matter. Pray for him, like she's saying. Pray for him. I'm not saying pray for him and then agree with his policies. What she's saying is pray for him and hopefully he will get some type of understanding. There's nothing wrong with praying for people. There's nothing wrong with praying for people at all. So I think people are kind of mistaking what she's actually saying. And because people don't like Donald Trump, which I understand that because I don't like him either, people are taking her saying let's pray for him and thinking that that means, oh, we're going to support him. No, all she's saying is pray for him and continue to protest his policies, but hopefully in the midst of you praying for him, there will be a turnaround and he will hear what's going on and hopefully hear some of those prayers that are being sent out his way.
Yeah, but I really feel like Donald Trump needs more than some goddamn prayer. He needs more than prayer. I ain't against nobody praying for him. We all should pray for our leader. We don't want anything bad to happen to any of our leaders. But Donald Trump is a person that you have to be in his face. You have to sit and you have to talk with him. And I think that I ain't saying nobody should threaten Donald Trump. But these protests, yes, these protests are going to work. But they need to be in his face. And I'm talking about the people that represent us. They need to be in his face. And like we see Maxine Waters on TV, we see a bunch of them. Y'all need to be knocking on his door and telling him these are the things that we will and will not accept. I have not seen it yet, and we are 1 week into his administration, and he has met with so many different companies and so many different groups. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. You guys need to be at his door. As fast as he got that Muslim ban, we need to be doing something about these cops in our communities. We need to be doing something to make sure our black people feel comfortable. Black people don't feel comfortable with him being the president, and talking to Steve Harvey is not going to do it. We barely even see Martin Luther King III. I don't even know what he does. We need to be seeing the real leaders of the African American community with Donald Trump. I don't know why people are attacking Tina. I don't know why people throw her husband and her drama into that. You know, she's saying what she's saying. It's a lot of people that are attacking Donald Trump. When people are getting an award, they saying what's going on. I'm glad that people are speaking their mind. And I don't think that's really attacking Donald Trump. They're speaking up for what is right in our country. Banning people from coming here for what? These people are not even doing the crime. And when we hear about stuff that are, happening here. It's from people that found a video about ISIS and were, you know, they found, I guess they sympathized with them and was like, I'm going to go and shoot, kill people, or I'm going to run people over and things like that. They are not, but I do believe that some of them already are here, and stuff are going to start happening. But we need to be monitoring the people that's here to make sure they're doing right. I'm not saying make them uncomfortable, but yes, check up on them, because those people that's been here, their children, them found something and were doing it, or they were born in this country and came here and they started, you know, and they were radicalized by finding these videos. I know there's a way that they can find who's watching these videos on the internet. If you can crack down people that's watching child porn, why can't you crack down on people that found ISIS videos and telling people to do things like that? You have to want to catch these people. But back to Tina Campbell. Yes, we should pray for our president. We shouldn't want anything to happen here in America, period. We need to be praying that nothing bad happens. And I do hope that Donald Trump eventually sees the light and see that he is wrong for a lot of the things that he is implementing. And, you know, they had this march for abortion. If you are against abortion, do not have an abortion. People are having all of these marches. Are you willing to take care of a child from a parent that can't take care of that child? Are you willing to step up and adopt that child? I don't see none of these people doing that. We have a lot of poor people here, and we don't need to have children here that should not be. We don't need people here that can't be taken care of. So if abortion is their final result, I think that they should do it. I don't agree with it, but if they want to, then let them. I'm not going to be signing no papers or voting for anybody against anybody on what they could do with their body, because I wouldn't want nobody to vote if I can't marry who I can and can't love. Tell me who I can and can't love, no matter whether they disagree with it or not. So let's move on. I did not see the SAG Awards last night, so I can't say like, oh, who won. But I'm happy that it was a good night for Denzel Washington, who won Best Actor. Mahershala Ali won for Best Actor for Moonlight, and Denzel won for what's the name of that movie? Fences. And the cast of Hidden Figures won for Best Cast. Mm-hmm. So it was a good night for African Americans. I seen one of the ladies won a Lifetime Achievement Award. I can't remember her name, but it was a good speech, and she was actually she was funny, and she just had a good time up there. I think her name was Lily Tomlin. Lily Tomlin, yeah. She had a nice little funny speech.
Well, she's a comedian.
I didn't know that one.
You don't know what Lily Tomlin is? Oh wow.
No.
You ever saw 9 to 5?
No. Oh. But they're supposed to be doing a remake of one of her damn movies, and I think that's it. I don't know.
You ever saw never mind.
No, I didn't.
No.
So I guess they're gonna call Tina Campbell a coon too, right?
She even has a show on Netflix with Jane Fonda.
I seen some of that show, and it's actually funny.
Of course you did.
Yes. Now you ask me who Jane Fonda is. That's Ted Turner's ex, and she's an actress, and all of that, all the acclaim. She's about 80 years old, and she looks good.
That's all you know about her? She's Ted Turner's ex?
No, but she's an actress. She's a famous actress. I don't know if she has an Oscar, but I'm sure she's probably been nominated. I'm sure she has a list of awards. She's an old school actress.
That's all you did?
Yes. Okay. She looks good.
Well,
she did a movie with J-Lo.
She's an Oscar winner. And she also comes from, her father was one of the biggest movie stars.
I don't know who her father is.
Fonda.
Bitch, they old school. I don't know. That's your forte. You know all the old school.
But I mean, because sometimes you know whose parents is who, but that's how she got into it, because her father was one of the biggest stars actually in the world.
What's his name again?
Henry Fonda. Was a big star.
That's Ted Turner's ex.
It's funny because when I think of Jane Fonda, I don't even think of him. I think of her father.
No, but she was somebody else. I think they got not a divorce, because I don't think she remarried, but I think they broke up. That's when I seen her recently, but she looks good. She looks really good. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Venus and Serena Williams. Serena Williams won the Australian Open, which I stayed up Friday night at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the match, and a lot of people were up watching it, believe it or not. It was an okay match. It was not the best match between Venus and Serena.
They played each other.
They played each other for the championship.
Right.
And Venus would have been, if she would have won, that would have been her first championship in 7
Serena
years. Yeah. And Serena is now she's the only she's the only player with 23 Grand Slams in the Open era who has more titles than anybody, except for one, but it's not the Open era. In tennis overall, Margaret Court has one title more than her. So if she wins two more, she'll have more than everybody. And it's just so good to see. Like, I was just happy for them, and they both were just saying, like, a win for you is a win for me. You know, they were saying how much they love each other. But something that I found on YouTube is that there was an interview with Richard Williams. Richard Williams is a man that do not play. He was interviewed by this lady. It was a good 30-minute interview. And he was just telling him that his mother taught him just basically how to think like a woman, but don't be a woman, but think like a woman. Right. And whatever you stick to, this is what you're going to do. Like he said that before his daughters were born, that he would make sure that they could be tennis players. He trained them to be tennis players. At first they had coaches and then he was like, fuck them, I'm going to be your coach and we're going to do this. And he was like, he was brought up to have no fear. He grew up in Louisiana. Of course he dealt with racism and things like that. And he just wanted to lead there so bad. He was like, I want to go to Chicago. And him going to Chicago, he said Chicago was even worse than Louisiana. But he just was like, he was brought up with no fear. He was brought up to everything that he set out to do, he was going to do. He said he wrote out 50, 70, 80-page plans on how he was going to raise Venus and Serena. And
this is their father.
Richard Williams. And he also, he was saying he got inspired because he seen somebody win a tournament and they won like $50,000. He was like, if they could just hit a ball across the court and they could get this much money, this is what they're going to do. And he felt like he did train them a little too early. He feels like the age of 6 is the right age to start them off. But, you know, this is a sport that they love and they are just very committed to it. And they won.
Look all this money that they made from playing this sport.
Serena Williams has won $80 million in her 20-year tennis career. And Venus won $30 million. But
I remember when they were
the
little
injured
skinny girls with the braids in the hair with the beads. Remember those days? That was when they first came out. And at the time, I used to think that they were twins.
Yeah, I used to think that they were twins too, but they wasn't. They're 15 months apart. If I can remember the link, I did tweet it. I'll post the link so you guys can watch it. It was a good interview, and then he was talking about why he talked shit about these white players. And he's like, why should I apologize when people have said so much worse to me? What am I apologizing for? And he really kept telling me, because my mom taught me this, my mom taught me that. He's a mama's boy, but he loves her, and he really held on to her teachings. And I believe that it's true that what your parents teach you in your youth is what you remember as you get older.
Oh, it definitely is.
Yep. He ain't play no games. So if you young parents out there, step it up. Because I can tell you about some people that need to step it up.
Well, they had to be taught something to step it up.
Oh, Lord. It's a mess. And these other companies that's mad at Donald Trump, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm deleting Uber. I'm getting rid of Uber. Y'all standing with Donald Trump. And all things
what does Uber do in Amazon? What was that all about?
I guess some of these CEOs, they are working with Donald Trump and things like that. People are with Trump who you'll never think, and like a lot of these companies, you have to boycott every company because there's always somebody in the company that agrees with Trump. But what happened was, you know, when the ban when it was enforced, a lot of these companies stood up and said, no, we're against this. You had a bunch like Apple and a bunch of other companies like, no, this is not right. And once people seen that Uber was still picking up picking up people from the airport because there was a citywide strike. I mean, a strike at the airport, and Lyft wasn't doing it, but Uber was picking up passengers. And people was like, oh, Uber supports Donald Trump's ban. Delete Uber.
But wait, how does Uber help me because I'm confused? How does Uber picking up passengers at the airport mean that they support Donald Trump?
Because I guess Uber didn't speak out when everybody else spoke out against what was going on with Donald Trump. So people, and once Uber was picking up passengers, like basically saying Uber is going against our cause right now.
Right.
So since Uber is not in support of this ban, we need to delete Uber. So they had this big trending topic. People were deleting Uber all off their phones, and people were screen capping them, deleting it, and all of that stuff. And then the next day, Uber releases a statement saying that of course, they are not in support with Donald Trump, and that they have riders that are, currently out the country that want to come back, and they donated $3 million to the ACLU after Lyft donated $1 million. So I guess they wanted to do more, but it's like you're only doing this now because you guys have been called out by so many people and so many companies. Like even like Starbucks was like they don't agree with what Donald Trump is doing. So just a lot of people, people want to know where these companies stand, and if they stand with Trump, then they want to, I guess they want to start a boycott. But there's this picture floating around on Instagram with this Uber CEO naming all these other CEOs that stand with Trump or had a meeting with Trump. I don't know. I was looking for the article. I can't find it. But they were saying basically they were snitching on the other companies too, and maybe people should boycott them too. But you'd be surprised on all the things that we used, what these CEOs are doing behind our backs that we don't even know. We don't even know. But if I need to get Uber, I'm going to get my Uber. If you don't want to ride Uber, don't ride Uber. It's easier for me to get around when I need to get around.
That's a way of putting it, right?
But I mean, I agree that the ban is wrong, but everybody doesn't have to jump on the bandwagon.
The bandwagon.
Because Chick-fil-A don't support the gays, but gays is right up in Chick-fil-A.
Eating it before and after they...
How you
now,
doing?
that's not a meal that you should eat before you go to bottom. It's not.
You should know all about it.
Chick-fil-A sends... Well, listen. If I did it, I wouldn't eat Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A sends me straight to the bathroom.
Chick-fil-A is one of the reasons why
it's a laxative for me.
I had a gallbladder attack because I had one of the
spicy
chicken. I had spicy chicken sandwich, but I had I was eating too much that day.
Chick-fil-A is not
they had that spicy flavor. What is it, jalapeno? I don't remember, but it's one of their big burgers. And the burger is spicy and the fucking cheese is spicy. Oh, I wore that sandwich out along with a couple other things, and it set my body off. What?
No, I'm saying along with a couple other things.
Don't do that.
I'm trying to figure what you're talking about. Baby. Hey!
Not that way.
Oh, okay.
No, I went to wrestling that night. Remember when I went to wrestling?
I didn't know y'all went.
You was on vacation. You was on vacation on the islands, but I was tore up. I came home that night, and I mean, I thought it would go away. It did not go away. And I had to get out of here because the pain was just like, no matter which way I laid, it was hurting really, really bad. But, yeah, so I found out that BBD released an album. I didn't listen to it, but people were saying that, since you watched the New Edition movie and you said they should do something, well, they did release an album. But I want to know what's really going on within the group New Edition and BBD today. Is like, no, we're going to do our own album and release it after the movie instead of New Edition. But Johnny Gill was saying that, no, we're doing the album together. We're getting back with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and all of that, and everybody else who was a part of their success. So we shall see. We shall see if it works. And Azealia Banks and Rihanna, I really don't care to talk about it. I just think that we all know how petty Azealia Banks is. And I don't even know why Rihanna gave her the time of day. Okay? Why?
Why? Some people you don't even
acknowledge.
And I'm not the biggest Rihanna fan, but Rihanna, why did you acknowledge her? Because you are Rihanna, and she is her.
Yeah.
The chicken slayer. She needs to go work at KFC.
I want y'all to do me a favor for this
Popeyes, somebody's Chinese store, the way she be cutting them chickens up.
Yes. I want our audience to do us a favor. I am so tired of talking about Donald Trump and his policies and the things that he's doing. We are most of the time we're all going to be intact with disagreeing. I would love for you guys to send us either some scenarios on things like what we would do if we was in this situation, or if you got a question that you want to ask us.
No questions until because the questions are too they're always the same. So no questions. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, but sometimes y'all ask the same questions. Like, every time you say, what would you like to ask, then it's always the same questions from a year ago, 2 years ago, last month, 2 days ago. You're like, oh my God. Maybe you can, but don't ask me no questions. You can ask that. But the idea of asking, what would you do in this particular scenario, I like that better than when did y'all get started? How did Scorpion Show start? How did y'all meet? Oh, please, I'm tired of those.
No, I meant like questions for yourselves, like in your everyday life. But don't let it be like the obvious answer. Because if you're in a relationship and he beating your ass, what should you do? You need to get out.
Right. Don't ask me nothing like that either, because I'm not in a relationship. And I don't have nobody beating no ass.
But I want to see some good scenarios that what would you do like where we can't answer. Because I'm tired of talking about Donald Trump. And he seems to be the only news story because these celebrities are not showing their ass like that, okay? So, I don't care about some of the stuff like Rihanna. Like, maybe 5 years ago, we would have had a long topic about Rihanna and Zayman. I don't care about that.
When did can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I just made a comment on it, but I don't even know what happened. What happened? I didn't hear nothing at all.
Rihanna was upset about the ban, and Azealia Banks was like, bitch, you not even American. Why you got something to say?
No, she didn't. She tweeted her that?
Yep, something in that kind of way.
Yeah, you absolutely right. Azealia Banks is not even... Rihanna, you should have paid her dust.
So Rihanna responded with different pictures talking about, I'm not American, stop killing chickens, save things. All of this stuff.
Yeah. Clean out that closet. She should have responded, clean out that dirty closet.
Yes.
And that would have been a done deal.
But of course, Rihanna replied 2 more times. Like,
yeah, Rihanna, that's Azealia Banks. That's like Beyonce replying to Azealia.
Rihanna should be getting ready to perform at the Grammys. If she's what's going on with the Grammys? Everybody's quiet about that. Lady Gaga's performing on Sunday at the Super Bowl. I'm excited.
Can I be honest with you? Sure. I didn't even know the Super Bowl was Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be Atlanta Falcons versus New England Patriots.
I had no idea the Super Bowl was this Sunday.
I think this is the Falcons' first time in the playoffs. So congratulations to Atlanta, one of my other favorite cities. But yeah, I'm excited to see Lady Gaga perform, but I hope she don't try to be too over the top with the performances. Sometimes, just like she noticed with her outfits, simple is better. Put on a great show, but don't, I don't know.
And she's the halftime performer.
Yes. No gas, please, no gas. Lady Gaga, this is Lady Gaga.
This is your moment.
I want to see Poker Face. I want to see every goddamn
Lady Gaga perform. When are they going to give, what's her name?
Who?
Rihanna.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think next year they might go with a band, but I hope not Coldplay again.
Me too.
They might go with a band.
Next year they need to go with Azealia Banks.
Bitch, who? They gonna look at them like, what? No.
No, I'm joking.
I
don't know who they should go with next year. They should go with next year New Edition.
Lies. I don't think an R&B group has ever done it.
I don't think New Edition is up to doing it. I would rather see the New Edition.
Yeah, New Edition
the
can do
movie
the Star Spangled Banner.
The New Edition movie from the movie. The cast from the movie doing it.
Only a couple of, maybe Luke James and the one that played Ralph. Yeah.
What about the other ones? Nah, you can't do that.
Let me tell you something. The way I look at it, anybody could have been in that movie. But
I'm trying to.
Because I didn't know who all they were playing. But I think they all did a great job, no matter what. But they didn't do a cast like how Straight Outta Compton did it, where you knew exactly who they were.
Yeah.
But overall, it still was great.
Listen, I will never forget, as long as I live, when I saw the trailer for Straight Outta Compton, and I forget where I was at, and I said, "Oh my God!" I saw it first by myself, and then like a few days later, I forget where I was at. I may have been at work, and I said, "Oh my God!" We was talking about how the movies get ready to come out. I said, "Oh my God, isn't that so decent? They found this guy that looked exactly like Ice Cube to play Ice Cube." I said, "Where did they find this man? Like he looks just like Ice Cube." And it's like, "Bitch, that's Ice Cube's son." I was like, "What?" Because I had remember Ice Cube's son as being the little boy who he always took to the Lakers game, like with the fro and the jersey. I didn't even realize that he had grew the fuck up. Like I just always was like, wow, like that's him, the little boy from the Lakers game. Wow. Yeah. I was really in the dumb moment right there. I was like, what?
Well,
Ice Cube's son?
That's crazy. It was just crazy how on point it was. Because remember that, I don't know if you remember that Leah movie, Anybody was just playing anybody.
Yeah. Wendy Williams.
She tried it.
Yeah, she did.
She really tried it, but it's all right. Yeah. It's over with. It's over with. And whoever keep putting her music on iTunes, stop. But I want her family to really put her music up because this is how people can remember Aaliyah. Like nobody never forgot her, but I think that she could be introduced to more people if her music was out there. They're holding back on the music. Put it on iTunes.
I didn't mean to do that.
Who's that?
I had to show you something. But yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, I just wanted to throw a little different topics in there. Give us some scenarios. Write it. You can write it in the comments, and y'all can like vote it if y'all really like it or not, and I'll write it down. Or if you want to be private about it, you can write me on Instagram and send it to my DM. So that way I'll see it. But yeah, we're going to go. I hope you guys have a great week. Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.
It's about to be February. You know what it means. First of the month. All right.
What does it mean?
Hey, I ain't going to say it on here.
Okay.
But.
Oh. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I know all those who work at banks ate the first of the month. But I'll talk to y'all later this week. Peace.
Bye.
Get up.
I'm like so tired.